By the way, it's our responsibility to fix what is broken in our countries. I mean, if we keep running away, no one will fix it for us. Because national development is not just for politicians. It's a combination of our leadership and the people too. If we keep running out of Africa, especially the people who have what it takes to develop Africa, what moral justification do we have to complain that Africa is not developing? Who's going to develop it for us? Hey, what's up, my people? How you all doing? What's up, my young Africans? How are you? This message is for you. I'm gonna have some good time with you today. I hope you give me your attention and your audience. I'm gonna be speaking to you like a mother, an aunt, and a senior sister. And I'm going to tell you the gospel truth because I will never lie to you or mislead you. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone, for subscribing to my channel. I really, truly appreciate it. It goes a long way for me because this is a struggle. It's not easy. Sometimes I want to quit because no matter what I do, YouTube algorithm doesn't seem to be picking my video. I've done everything humanly possible, but no, I'm not gonna quit because I have a lot of information and knowledge to share with the world. So I'm not quitting. I don't care what YouTube is doing. But I know you can help me make it happen, right? I can trust on you. So back to the topic of today, my African youths. I want to have an audience with you today. First of all, I want to apologize to all Africans. You do not deserve the situation that you are in. Our governments and our leadership in many nations have failed you. They have not invested in the economy to facilitate an empowering environment for you where you can develop your talents and your skills. And their failure has made your life incredibly difficult. At a certain age, you are expecting certain milestone to get a family of your own, to take care of your parents who would have, went extraordinary miles, suffered to pay your tuition through college. And this is the time for you to take care of them, and yet you couldn't because you don't have that opportunity or the resources or what it takes to make these things happen. I hear you. I feel your pain. I get frustrated, angry, and outraged, furious with our inept, dysfunctional, very corrupt, self-serving, and selfish leadership who wants to loot the public fund and our collective resources for their own families. It frustrates me. I get it. But the question is, this other place that you are thinking have your whole life, future, and progress in their hands, does it really have that? My brothers and sisters, no country in the world have your life, your future, or whether or not your quality and standard of life is going to be better. None of these countries have that in their hands. If you doubt me, do your research well. You're going to see bunch of homeless people in New York, in Chicago, LA, Washington, DC, all over the street, littering around the streets, okay? And in the subways, those are the citizens What have they been able to do for those people? That's the question that we have to ask yourself. Doubt me. Search in Google a place called East and West Hastings Street in Vancouver, Canada. The whole entire streets are full of homeless people and drug addicts. I've seen that with my both eyes. And yet, these are the nations that are gaslighting you and baiting you with a lot of, visa programs. And you're jumping on it. Because you don't understand them. You don't understand how they operate. But let's leave it here. So I'm just telling you that you have your own destiny, your own life, your future in your own hands. All you have to do is to find your talent and your skills. It is there. You just have to find it. And when you find it and develop it, you want to be in an environment that has less government restrictions and regulations. And of course, in a tax-free heaven where you can have a full range to pursue your dream and your goals without undue government restrictions. In these places that you want to come, if you want to get into business or being an entrepreneur, not only that these Western countries are extremely competitive, and there's a whole bunch of systemic regulations and restrictions. We, the Black people, have a different challenges because a lot of things are built into the systems to stop us from going any further. I am speaking that as someone who has been living in the United States for 24 years. So I know what I'm talking about. I did a lot of paperwork on systemic racism in my master's program. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. When you look at my older videos, I've spoken so much about systemic racism in America. So these are the people who are gaslighting you that their countries is the paradise, is a place you can come to pursue your dream. No. Unless if your dream is about recycling around the system, working on the corporate plantation that I called the modern day slave plantation. You're going to be working and repatriating half of your earnings back to the system in taxes. And then by the time you pay your bills and cater for yourself, you have nothing to show for it. So it's easy to work in these systems for 30 years and retire with nothing. And God help you if you retire in this country with nothing. Especially in America, they have nothing that they give to senior citizens. You're going to sit here, cater for yourself. Your children is not even going to be there for you because they are socialized to believe that you are not their responsibility and they don't have to care for you. So this is not like Africa. So you can't hope on your children to help you in your old age in this place. This is a fact. This is an individualized culture. I'm telling you how it is here for you to make an informed decision. The third one is I want you to understand that the moment you decide to move or to emigrate from Africa, you are not just moving yourself, you are moving your entire generations. Did you hear me? If you come over here single, you end up having children here. Or even if you move here with your children is going to be westernized. And there is little or no chances that they are ever going to go back to your country of origin. So from your generation up has been discontinued from the country where you have your root and ancestry. So I want you to look beyond yourself when you are thinking about all these things. I mean, picking the peanuts under their table is not what this transgenerational mistake. You're going to plant your children where they are not acknowledged. If you doubt me, our cousins, I mean the Black Americans, whose ancestors built these whole entire countries on their backs without any single wage paid, which I believe strongly that our cousins deserve reparation, that every single wage that is owed to their ancestors that built this country has to be given to them. Is it a place you want to put your children? I wish I knew all this in 1998 when I came here. But at that point, we are not privileged to have social media, to hear directly from the previous generations of the diaspora, to hear their experiences. And we didn't have the privilege that you have today. If you are a mother of a young man, you don't have peace in this country. Because anytime they are out in the street, no matter how good they are, you are just not going to sleep. That is the reality of a black man in this place. Think about it again. Is it the stress, the transgenerational stress, you want to subject your future generations? Location doesn't determine people's success. There are people in Africa who are incredibly rich, have made it. Davido was born in Georgia. He was born in Atlanta, but he decided to live in Nigeria. And now he become what he become. If he would have been here, maybe, the music industry is very competitive. He would be lucky to be alive. Because the hip-hop culture, what they do here is engaging in gun violence and killing themselves. So, location does not determine the extent of your success and accomplishment. It depends on you. And one other thing is, I don't understand why we don't give other African nations chance. Because we are embedded in this colonial and slave mentality that we dismiss African nations, thinking that this place have solution. It does not. It will put significant pressure on you. Because the moment you leave the motherland, Africa, you are here not living for yourself. You are here working for those in Africa. You're going to have a load of responsibilities on your shoulder. Your family is going to throw every family financial responsibilities on you. You're going to be the one taking care of old parents. Every sibling in Africa are going to claim that they don't have nothing. You're going to be juggling, having to survive a day, pay your bills, and have to respond to pressure coming from home. And most of the time, you don't even know that they are doing better than you are in Africa. But this is the reality that we are living in, we Africans in diaspora. So the moment you come over here, this will be the beginning of your stress. You think stress in Africa is anything, it's nothing. At least in Africa, you are living for yourself. They're not bothering you. because they know that everyone is on the same mess. But here, as soon as you're here, they see you as, you are rich. That is despite that it's gonna take you years and decades to establish yourself in this place, to get the proper documentation, because it's no longer easy to have residence papers in these places, especially if you don't come with the right visa. It takes years, and before then you're going to be living in the shadow of the system, doing many jobs, and cannot go home. If you have an aged mother, an aged father, aged parents, or can't go to see your siblings, if you have children there or you have a spouse there, you cannot go and see them. And for what, I ask again? Is the crown under their table, is it what? All this? I don't think so. I'm going to post a video here about the workers in United Kingdom going on strike. Every union, all unions and all workers, even the nurses, the railway workers are going on strike. Yes, absolutely. I said that in my video, the one that is titled like brain drain is an existential threat to Africa. I mentioned it in that video that they are not willing to pay their people the right amount of salary they deserve. So they come to Africa to brain drain people they think are desperate so they can exploit them. They want to bring you here to pay you peanut. And out of the peanut that they are paying you, then they're going to, get the 50% of what they pay you in taxes back to their system. If this is not slavery, I don't know what. But what I cannot understand is why you keep falling in for this. I know some young people, especially Nigerians, because I have had enough of them. I have had enough of their nonsense. Is going to come over here to say, oh, okay, you live in America and then you don't want us to come because you are discouraging us. Well, 1998, most of you were not born. I came here in 1998. And it's a different times than now. And I have a different circumstances. Fact of the matter is, like sometimes when you visit home, you will see some of your peers incredibly rich, wealthy, that you in diaspora cannot even shine their shoes. They are not politicians. They are not associated with politicians. They are doing genuine business and very successful at it. Because there is opportunity in Africa, but they gaslight you to believe that there is no opportunity in Africa. Why are they in the continent trying to loot our mineral resources? Why is it that every African nation that are rich in mineral resources are the ones that have the most crisis? Look at DR Congo, look at Nigeria, and many other places. What's going on there? Is it coincident that it is only the African nations that have the mineral resources are the most destabilized? Ask yourself that question. What do they want? Two things. To extract our mineral resources and our human capital. That is their workforce. So these are the people that is telling you there is no opportunity in Africa. There is a whole lot of opportunities in Africa, my people. You just have to decolonize your slave mentality and look to see a whole bunch of opportunities staring on your face in Africa. But because you have been conditioned to think there is nothing for you in this continent, and everything that we do, comes from our head and our psyche. If we believe that this place is not for us and it's never going to work for us, then it's never going to work for us. Okay? So, but if you believe that, these are the places where a lot of people have made it. Many rich Africans are not living in diaspora. They've never lived here. They make all their money in Africa. If you can give your country a chance, by the way, it's our responsibility to fix what is broken in our countries. I mean, if we keep running away, no one will fix it for us. Because these countries, the so-called developed countries that we're running to, at some point, they have to deal with the challenges that we are dealing with now. But they were there to develop their country to what it is today. Because national development is not just for politicians. It's a combination of our leadership and the people too. If we keep running out of Africa, especially the people who have what it takes to develop Africa, what moral justification do we have to complain that Africa is not developing? Who's going to develop it for us? I think it would be the best thing in the world if we can have a little patience. Fight our politicians and force them to do their job, just like what Nigeria is doing now to clean out those corrupt politicians out of our political terrain. This is the political climate in Nigeria right now, and this is where we need to begin with, to put responsible leadership instead of running all over the place at our detriment. Because by the time you come over here, you quickly realize that the grass is not always greener, and that what you see as green is a myth. So I will continue to have this conversation with you. This is very, very important that you listen to before you make that move, that as soon as you come here, all it takes is about a month for you to realize that you just shot yourself on the foot. Forget about, the con artists on the social media, like, pretending that this place is heaven on earth. I mean, it really gets on my nerves when people move from Nigeria to Canada. They're not even in the country for 6 months, and all of a sudden they become an immigration expert. What is wrong with this bunch of psychopaths and narcissists? What do you know about Canada or United States for you to be, quote and unquote, this immigration expert to give advice on how to process papers? You just literally immigrated from Nigeria to UK or to Canada. What's wrong with you? Don't you have limits? Just sitting out there, throwing misinformation and disinformation out there. Immigration documentation can be very complicated. And there are immigration lawyers, and they are in YouTube. That's who you need to be listening to. Find an immigration lawyer in United Kingdom or Canada in YouTube that you can listen to or ask them questions. Don't listen to these fake lifers who are still hiding or don't even have a place to be, or even squatting with people trying to find their feet, that's recently relocated to UK and to Canada, talking nonsense. They don't know what they are talking about. These are people who are out there misleading people. Don't listen to them. They're going to get you on a hot pan. Trust me. We're going to continue this conversation. My brothers and sisters and my children, because I am old enough to be a mother of a 35-year-old. So, I'm going to tell you everything that I know that you should know. I'm not discouraging anybody, but you have to have the right information to make the right decision for your life. Thank you so very much. Appreciate your audience. Please help me like, share this video. Let's grow this channel. I make sense. Appreciate it. See you in the next episode. Peace.